I copied Alex Hormozi's entire funnel, and today I'm going to break it down and show you exactly how it made me $42,000, 33 calls booked, 87% show rate, 29 live calls, 12 sales. And with that, not only am I going to show you how I got these different results, but I want to show you my clients' results, how they are implementing the exact same system to get similar results. Okay. Now again, here it is broken down. You have my client Cameron, you got Wajid, you got Mondo, and from that, you're going to be able to see the different types of results that this can bring in. Now, not only am I going to show you my results, like I mentioned, I want to show you my client's results. So my biggest client result right now is going to be Mondo, and here it is.
Armando the marketer.
What's going on? So Mondo, tell us about your experience working with us.
So prior to working with y'all, for sure, I was doing a little bit of low ticket retainers, churn and burn kind of deal. After implementing what I learned, I started doing high ticket offers, 6K offers, 6K pips, 7K pips. For that, I mean, that took us from 30, 40K to now where we're at 80, 90K a month.
Sweet.
Okay, so you guys saw it there. He's doing, from his own words, 80 to 90K. And actually right now, as we speak, the time of this video, he's doing around 150,000, on pace to crack 200,000. Okay, so now the first thing I want to show you guys is this chart. So how familiar are people with you? What's their bias on you, right? And essentially what I want to show is a lot of people, they're going to be quitting. And let me just get this here. The two sides of this is the preference level. So how much people prefer you, how much are they familiar with you, and the number of exposures, how many times they've seen you, okay? So that's what this chart explains. So typically it takes 21 touch points to get someone to want to go ahead and buy from you. Like, hey, I like this guy. I would prefer him over anyone else. I would even refer him to other people. I'm going to show people his content. I'm not going to gatekeep him. This guy is sick. I like this person. I like this business. Again, I like this product. It can be anything. So with that being said, typically where people fail and where they stop is around 3 touch points. So you're doing a lot of direct response, and that's all you're doing. So people are on average seeing your content 3 times. From that, you stop giving them touch points. You stop giving them content to look at. You stop reaching out to them, right? What happens is, because typically on average, human psychology, we need around 21 touch points before we want to pick someone. You haven't even gotten to their strong preference. They don't even prefer you at the top. Like you're at the very bottom and you're giving up here. So you need to understand over time, right? As you know, after 10 touch points, they're starting to grow comfort from you. They're like, yeah, this guy's sick. I like his content. I'm not gonna buy from him yet, but I like watching his stuff. And then you hit like the 20 spot, the 21 points, whether it's short form, long form, it doesn't matter what it is. Essentially, you need to have 21 different points before the people actually say, hey, I'm going to buy from this guy. Okay. So that's the chart. Now, people don't buy from the best. They buy from the people who they see the most. And that is why you're going to get, there's a lot of scammers out there who are scamming people. They don't have the best product, the best coaching offer, this consulting, is literally because of one reason. It's because maybe people bought from them because they saw them so many times and they trusted them. They like their beliefs, which I'm going to get into in a second. But ultimately, they didn't have the best product. They're not going to get these guys the best results. They just saw them so many times, day after day, day in and out, that they wanted to buy from that guy. So you don't have to have the best product. You need to have the most exposure, and that's going to allow you to grow at a massive scale. So Hormozi leverages this by creating massive awareness loops across multiple platforms. If you don't know Hormozi, he posts on every single platform. He posts one thing across every platform, and that's what allows him to have so many touch points. You go on Instagram, you see him. You go on Facebook, you see him. You go on Twitter, you see him. You go on LinkedIn, you see him. He is everywhere. You go on YouTube, you see him. And the purpose is because he wants you to see him so many times to the point where you consume his value, you consume his free content to then want to get into his paid content. Okay. So every single post, podcast, or video is going to build trust. Doesn't matter what style. Don't try to perfect it. Just get people to see you over and over again. Right? The more times they see him or they see you, essentially the more likely they are to buy from you. Okay. So how that works is, this is Hormozi's funnel. He is going to be posting about 3 to 4 times on YouTube, right? A week, not a month, a week. He posts 3 to 4 times a week on YouTube, as you can see here, right? And from that, what he's able to do is he's able to nurture you through long form content, give you free value, go in depth on things, right? What he tells you is the what, the how, or the what and the why. He doesn't necessarily tell you the how. Like, he'll give you good value on how to do things, like little things, but not essentially like the how to scale past that 3 million, how to scale to that 10 million. He won't tell you that for free, right? That's in his paid content. That's in his course, and not his course. He doesn't sell a course, but his workshops, his one-on-one, his partnerships. That's where that is. It's all in the paid. So he'll tell you how to get to, that 1 to 3 million with free content, but he essentially won't tell you how to get to that next level, because he's not going to give that to, that free value, because not necessarily everyone who's on YouTube is making that much money. So what he does is he gets those people in on the small free content. And from that, they're like, hey, you know what? I like this guy. I like the way he talks. I like the way he thinks. I like his way of business. I like him personally. I actually want to see how he can take me from 3 million to 10 million, and so on and so forth, right? Up to $100 million. Okay. So that's what the purpose of the long form content on YouTube is. Then what he also has is his Instagram, where he posts 1 to 2 times a day. Now, for YouTube, if you're a coach consultant, I'd recommend you post twice a week on YouTube. If not, just post once. You need at least one contact point. If you're an agency, it more or less depends on your niche. Like, are your people sitting on YouTube? Are they sitting on social media? For example, if you're in the contracting space, forget about it. They're not really watching YouTube channels. They're not binge watching this stuff, right? So you got to keep in mind, who is your ideal client? Are they on Instagram? Are they on YouTube? Are they on social media? Are they even watching long form content? You got to keep that in mind. On the Instagram side of things, I recommend you post at least once a day. Try to post 5 times a week if you can. I aim for 6, and the purpose of that is because once they see my long form 2 times a week as well, they're seeing me every single day, right? Except for like Sundays, I don't like to post, but they're seeing me every single day. And the reason for that is because I'm putting out so much content that they can relate to. It's building up their the way that they think of me, the way they see me, and it's exactly what Hormozi does, right? So Hormozi is doing this exact thing, and that's obviously why I've implemented it myself. If you can post at least 4 times a week, 5 times a week, you're gonna be able to see a massive difference. It's about consistency. Doesn't matter about is it perfect, is it not? Just put out content. Okay, start by putting out content. From there, once you get consistent, then you can start to tackle the whole professional side of things and make it look really nice and presentable. But for now, just worry about consistency. Now, the question you might have is, what do you put inside these videos, right? What is in the content? Well, first things first is you want to be relatable. Okay, you want people to essentially buy from you because they can relate to you, right? That's why people buy. People buy because they can relate to you. So that's what you want to do. Essentially, show them you're a human. Show them that you do things, you challenge with things. You're not just this ultimate human who is just going through life and on easy mode. You can relate to them. Okay. The next is value. So showing people you already have the missing information. Showing people that you've been where they want to be, right? They're at 10K a month. They want to be at 100K a month. Let them know you've been there and you know what it takes to get to there, right? That's what people want to see. They want to see the value. They want to see the free information before they buy from you. Why would someone buy from you if they don't know what you offer or if you even offer good information? Next is beliefs. So in your content, right, this is more the short form where you can change someone's beliefs. Like, you show them your daily habits, you show them your life and things on business. The long form, yes, the long form's even better. With the long form, you're not going to get people as, like, I guess, consuming it as much. That's why I say, the short form is going to get people spot on your beliefs a little bit more, just because if you're posting a lot on what you believe, then that's going to work. If you don't, well, then that's not going to work. But in the long form, you can do it even better, but people aren't probably going to consume it as much as your short form. Is they can actually get into depth, or you can get into depth on why you believe certain things, or why you do certain things within your business, why you do certain things in your personal life. They'll get bought in on those things. And from that, they're going to want to buy from you, right? So changing the way they look at what you provide. So changing the way they look at business, changing the way that they look at health, fitness, again, depending on essentially what you provide. Proof. So in a world of lies, people want to see that you've walked the walk, right? You've actually gone. Like I mentioned, if they want to get to 100K, they want to see that you've been there. They want to see that you know the steps and what it takes to get there. People just lie about everything, and that's why I started off my video with this information. I showed you numbers as well. I showed you clients. I showed you a video. Purpose of that is because you wouldn't be probably watching this video if I didn't show you I have proof, right? And that's the whole purpose of me showing you numbers and showing you, a video of Mondo, him saying it in his own words. I can go type it right here on the screen saying Mondo said this. It's not as effective. Anyone could do that, right? But I was at WAP. We had our business on a billboard. At the time, I was like, hey, let's shoot this video here. We're in Times Square, right? Let's film this video. So that's the purpose and point of me filming, right? People can relate to that, and they can say, hey, Mondo, his story, he was at XYZ and now he's at 80, 90,000. So you guys got to keep that in mind. You got to show proof in the pudding. And that's essentially what Alex Hormozi does. And he does it right off the bat with his most recent $100 million money model launch. Okay. What more proof do you need than the guy talking about a $100 million money launch than doing $100 million? I think he did $105 million, and that's just proof in the pudding. He's showing you everything within his two first books, or his two books beforehand, was essentially him taking all that actionable steps, everything that's in those two books, and he used it in this launch. If you don't believe me, you can go check out, I think it was on his most recent podcast with Logan Paul, like Impulsive there. He literally talked about how I took the information and the value in my first two books, and I just wanted to prove to people that these work, and that's all I did to launch this. He used everything from his first two books. Okay, so that is essentially the first step. Now, he got you in on a free challenge, and from that, what he did is he went ahead and he upsold people to a $6,000 offer. In that offer, you get a bunch of playbooks, you get I believe it's a course, but from that, the people that bought the 6,000, he said, wait a minute, you bought 6,000, that means you're more inclined to probably buy my higher ticket, which is an $18,000 offer. I believe it was for 6 months. You get access to a school. From that, you hop on calls with him and his team. I'm not sure how much he's on the calls. I think it's more of his team. And from that, you guys can ask full-on questions, bring everything about your business to them, and they will help you, right? Not only that, you're able to donate 200 books to different entrepreneurs and use that as leverage to get people to buy your product, right? You're going to give away free value. So that's this whole thing. He gives away free value, and that's what you need to do. Okay, don't be scared that, oh, I'm going to give away this free value. Now I have nothing to give people. Give away the what, the why, but not the how, not the implementation. People buy the implementation. They always want the implementation. People will, I'll put it this way. You watching this video probably know what you're supposed to do, right? You probably know that you need to be posting on Instagram. You need to be posting on YouTube. You need to be start running ads. You need to stop doing the cold outreach, but you don't do it. Right? Maybe it's not because you don't know what to do, or sorry, maybe it's not because you don't want to do it, but it's because you don't know how to do it. And you're looking for that how, right? That's obviously why maybe you watch my videos, it's for the how. How do you actually implement these things? So he upsold these people at 18,000. And essentially, I'm going to take a step back here. Let's say that you bought this, okay? You bought the upsells. Okay, now you're probably going to want some in-person stuff. So what he also was able to upsell before this launch, he had his books, his free content. He would then push you to a scaling workshop. In that scaling workshop, it's a 2-day live in-person event where essentially it's $5,000, okay? And then once you get that information on the $5,000, he doesn't really necessarily do like one-on-ones with you or talk about your business specifically. In those 2-day events, he's more or less going over, he'll maybe ask you a question in the audience, and you can cover something, but he's not going to go over your business entirely. What he's going to go over is more or less what he did, right? And he's going to talk to other entrepreneurs. You can meet other people here. That's why it's $5,000. But once you get that little taste of, hey, I'm going to go ahead and take action on what he said, then you get into the big boy stuff, and it's a $35,000 package. In that, you're going to be more one-on-one, it's going to be more exclusive and more personalized to you, right? And broken down, here's what it looks like. You have your workshops, 5K to 35K, like I mentioned. So next logical thing, once they buy a book or watch your free content, is going to be a 5K option because they want more, right? In-person events create high emotional conviction, okay? And that's the purpose and point of it, because he wants to ultimately partner with you, right? Alex Hormozi's entire goal is to take you from nothing, let you scale up to that $3 million mark, then he wants to partner with you. He wants to take your business to that next level. That's the whole purpose of him doing free content. But past that $3 million mark, he doesn't give anything that's going to tell you how to get to that $10 million mark. That's why you have to go to the live events. It's in his paid content. Okay? And he has his upsells. So his upsells were from, obviously, the funnel. So Hormozi stacks the value by segmenting outcomes. So 6K is education, frameworks, and community. 18K is like the done with you, deeper mentorship. So it's not really a done, I guess you can say done with you. It's more of like you hop on coaching calls and you can ask him questions, or his team at least. And that's what I mean by that. Okay, so one thing I want you to notice is all the upsells are value-based, not volume-based. So everything that he's essentially is giving you is like, hey, you got this. You got to that 1 to 3 million. Now, you want to get to the next level? Well, guess what? I'm going to give you all this value, right? And that's what it is, like a live in-person meeting or events. That is more value than watching his YouTube or watching any sort of course, right? You're there, you're actually seeing him and listening and talking to others who are doing what you want to do. So with that, once you hit that $3 million month mark or not 3 million a month, but 3 million in general, partners with your company to then obviously scale. So Hormozi's real funnel goal isn't just selling products, it's finding partners doing more than $3 million a year. Every piece of content acts as filtering attraction for those who are potential partners. Okay. Again, he's not going to put out his content that's talking to the guys doing 10 million because they're not necessarily watching his content. He's looking for the guys who are doing, that 1 to 3 million. In that, he's then going to take you to the next level by selling you on his paid content. Okay. So his backend isn't about getting clients. It's actually about acquiring stakes in companies. He doesn't want to work with hundreds and hundreds of clients and different people of different sizes. He's going to give you free value. From that, you're going to qualify yourself, and then you're going to buy into his products. And from there, then he talks to the real businesses. So at the top of his funnel, it's like this. It's massive amounts of people. As he goes down, it's more paid, more exclusive. And then at the very bottom, he's like, okay, you're here. I want to partner with you, and we're going to scale your business. That is how he meets his best partners. Again, over time, if you're buying all this stuff, you relate to him. He's showing you the proof. That's why you keep buying from him. He's showing you free value. Again, that's why you keep buying from him. That's why you keep leveling up. As well, you believe everything that he believes in business, and that's why you partner with him. Okay? So that is essentially it. Now, how this works with you, well, essentially, I call simple one-step funnel with a two-step follow-up. Okay? How it works. So first things first, you have an ad. Okay? Now, and again, in your content, this is how it's going to work. But they see an ad, they see your YouTube video, they see your Instagram video, whatever it is. What happens is we then redirect them to, there's two options. So you can redirect them to your Instagram. Okay. From the Instagram, they'll see your content. They, oh, this is cool. They click on your highlights. They, oh, this is even cooler. I can relate to this guy, I like this guy. Maybe they'll even click on my YouTube link, right? They'll click here. They'll start watching my YouTube. They start relating to me. But the whole purpose here is I want them to follow me, because once they follow me, they're going to see my content over and over. If they don't, doesn't matter, because I'm going to retarget them, and I'll get into that in a second. The second option is they click on an ad, they get redirected to a VSL or a free training. Okay. From that, then they get sent to the pre-call page, where you show results, you talk about frequently asked questions, you show them everything within the pre-call video that they need to see. From here, we're not going to directly go to the book call yet, not a showed call. There's all the secret stuff and the sauces in between. So you're going to have 4 styles of videos, okay? One is going to be proof. In your videos, you're going to be talking about proof. So once the person's followed me, okay, even if they don't follow me, they engage with my post, they've watched a certain amount, they've liked something, they commented, they say something, I'm then going to retarget them. I'm going to make them see my content over and over and over again to that 21 touch points, okay? And probably even more than that. Typically 21 touch points is going to be, they're going to be sold. They're either going to, if they haven't booked a call already, they're going to go ahead and book a call. If they book the call, they're going to see my content so many times before they even jump on the call. I'm already going to answer all their questions, handle their objections, get them bought into me on even more than what they already were, and they're going to join the call and be sold. So it's super easy. You have to show proof, create relatable content, show your lifestyle. Don't just be a zombie, don't be a robot. Show that you're relatable and that you were like them. FOMO, okay? You want to show them your client results. You want to show them value. You want to show them, hey, this is what people inside my communities and my partners are getting with me, right? They're getting X, Y, Z. Maybe you have meetups, right? You're meeting up with people. You show like, hey, we're not just a community. We're actually like in person, hanging out with each other and giving away free value. Like that's FOMO, right? And it's also value. People want that. The next thing is objections. So talking about why people would have certain objections, changing their beliefs on those objections before they even hop on the call. And what it's going to allow you to do is, again, one, if they haven't already, they're going to DM you. If they haven't already, they're going to follow you, okay? And I have the DM sequence here. I'm not going to go over it entirely, but I will sit here. You guys can pause. You can kind of read over everything. But this is the cyclone ad strategy that I have inside my inner circle. But here's, for example, is just a simple breakdown. I'm not going to go through all of it, but you can sit here, pause, and look at a simple conversation between a prospect and a setter. As well, here's a couple different like story responses, how to book someone in from the DMs. This is essentially what you can do. Okay, so I'm not going to go through it. You can pause and use it if you will. Again, I want to give you that free value. Okay, now, if they already went ahead, they booked a call. If they haven't, what they're going to do is book the call, and then we're going to have a human interaction. So a lot of people, they're like, oh, they booked a call for me. Send them automations. Just hammer them with automations. That is the worst mistake you can possibly make. Everything that we do is human interaction. So we send out iMessages because blue text messages are from real people. Green messages are from bots. They're from automated messages. People don't respond to those. Tell me the last time you've been scammed by a blue message. You probably have never even gotten a message that's blue that's from a scammer because they don't do it. Green text messages are a sign of scam, a sign of this is a robot, this is automated. So you need to interact with these people. Send a fucking personalized video. Hey man, saw you opted in, booked a call, just had a look at your Instagram page, looks sweet. I see you do this, this, and that, right? I also want to make sure that you checked out my confirmation page. I hope you checked out my this, that, whatever you give them, right? Be a human and have human interaction. And what's going to allow you to do is have a showed call. So from that, in the show call, there is a couple of different steps. So like I mentioned, people are already sold on you. Typically, these calls literally last 25 minutes to 30 minutes. And all it is you saying, is answering buyer questions, right? They're asking, okay, so like what specifically will I get, right? They're not saying, oh, so what do you do, right? How are you so different from others? They don't ask those fucking questions. They're already bought in on you. That's why they booked the call up, because they saw your content so many times. They already know everything about you, the proof, the value, what you do, how you do it, everything about you. They already know. They just want to show up and ask the final buyer questions. As well, everyone in my inner circle, this is a part, not even all of it, this is this little section of the sales. So we have two parts of the pitch breakdown, objection handling. We have live sales calls in here that I update consistently, keeping you guys up to date. As well, I have pre-call systems, so selling with videos, real video examples of me selling with videos, and then sales operations, when to hire a closer, how to hire high-performing closers, when to fire closers, where to find closers. I have all of that in there and plenty more. But again, that's obviously only available to the people in our inner circle, where they get 3 group calls every single week, and it's small group calls. I don't mean like you sit there for an hour and you can't get your question answered. I answer every single question before, and every single call is with me personally. As well, they get one-on-one every single week, where we dive deep into their clients' results, their client funnels, making sure that they're getting results. Because ultimately, if your clients aren't getting results, that means you aren't getting results. If you're not getting results, you're not going to want to pay me more money. Right? So that's ultimately how it works. I like to give away absolutely everything and help you with everything. That way you as a business are making more money. Okay. So I get access to all my SOPs, ad strategies, how things work, all the implementation I personally do with you. This is more of a consulting and partnership. My goal, just how I'm showing you here with Alex Hormozi, is to ultimately partner with the best of the best. Okay, I'm not just here to sell you something. I'm not just here to sell you a course. I don't like courses. I don't like how gurus do things. I want to sell you the implementation. I want to then be able to partner with you once you're making a shit ton of money. Okay, so again, the link to that will be down below. But on to the next thing here is I want to basically tell you guys a little story. Essentially, this is a story of me when I had my first ever info sale. Okay, so first, before I get into that, is essentially, like I mentioned, when they jump on a call, there's no more what do you do or why are you better. They already know that. As well, the easy final buyer questions that they ask, they're already pre-sold from your content, and essentially, we give more free value than anyone else does. Okay, and that's why they're pre-sold. The easiest sale you ever make. Okay, and I'm telling you, this is the easiest sale you ever make because they're already bought into you. They're already sold. You've already handled objections. You've already handled what you do, how you do it. They're literally coming to you for the implementation. They want to move forward. That is it. And what does that look like? Well, for a quick little story, my first ever little taste of info before I even got into the info space was I had a video here with, I guess, a case study, you can call it. That's what Serge called it. I was in Serge Guattari's program. I bought in, maybe just how you were. I started off with nothing, and I wanted to essentially scale it up quickly. So I just got someone to show me what to do. So I paid for that. Essentially, here I had gotten a case study with Serge, in which we were selling $8,000 packages. I was selling $8,000 packages to local businesses. Specifically, it was contractors. And from that, what happened from this specific video, where I'm going with this, is I wasn't in the info space. I never had the taste of info. Every call I got on was objections. Every single call I got on was like, what you do, how do you do it? And every single call was like an hour to an hour and a half long. Okay. Now, from that video, from someone else posting a YouTube video about me, what I was able to do is I collected my first $1,500 info deal. Okay. Now, how does that happen? I had someone reach out And it was really funny. They reached out like, hey man, how's it going? Or something along the lines. I thought it was someone just DMing me and saying, trying to sell me on something. I was like, hey man, what do you want? Like I think I was kind of an asshole. I don't remember the exact DMs, but it caught me off guard because I'm used to people just DMing me trying to sell me something. Where this guy came to my DM and he literally wanted to jump on a call because he saw this video. He asked about my process, right? Because he didn't know specifically, how I did things, and he wanted that. Okay, so he's asking buyer questions. He chatted and came to me like he essentially knew me. We already knew each other because he watched that hour-long video, whatever it was, and he wanted to pay me. He was demanding that he paid for my time. Okay, he wanted to pay for an hour of my time, and he wanted a little bit of SOPs. So I did just that. On the call, I literally made a price that I felt was comfortable and fair. He paid on the call, 0 objections. And that is what every single call I have is like now. Because people come to me and they already see my content, they see what I do, how I do it. And from that, they just want a piece of the pie, right? Here's some client results. So once you sell someone, this is what it's gonna look like, right? $2,000 deposit, $7,500 PIF, $10,000, $32.47, which is $3,500. That is essentially what they're gonna be seeing, okay? As well, like I mentioned, the proof is in the pudding. $22,000 here. Like I mentioned, I showed you guys this early on in the video at the very beginning. This is all the proof. And why do I show this? Because I want you guys to understand I've been where you want to be, or I am where you want to be, and I've already walked the walk. I've went through the hardships. I've went through the challenges. I've lost a shit ton of money in ads, and from that, I was able to overcome that, make SOPs, and make things to allow you to be able to scale at a very, very quick rate. So if you're someone that wants to scale paid ads, if you want to learn how you can do this yourself and actually learn the implementation side of things, if you like what you're seeing here, if you don't, what I want you to do is go ahead and watch more videos. I don't want you to come to me and buy. I want you to go ahead and book a call if you're not ready to buy. I only want people to join the calls if they're ready to buy and they actually like what I have, okay? And they want to learn how to implement it. So that being said, if you're not quite ready, go ahead and watch all my other free content. Follow me on Instagram. Link will be down below. But if you're that person that wants to get to that next level, you're at $15,000, $20,000, you want to scale to $50,000, you want to scale to $100,000, this is going to be for you. We only do paid ads, okay? We don't do all the cold outreach stuff. That's not for us. So make sure that you have the budget for paid ads. We only do paid advertising. Paid advertising is the way to go. Everything that we do is going to involve some sort of payment. So I don't want you guys to come to us and be able to pay me, but you can't implement my processes and the things that I do because you don't have the budget for that. So keep that in mind. Again, I'm literally telling you guys this because I want you to be so qualified. I want you to be ready to go when you hop on that call and want to move forward. Okay. So again, guys, you get one-on-one call every single week with myself. 3 group calls where you cover sales, we cover ads, we cover implementation, fulfillment, how to do stuff, client results. We literally pull up live sales calls, we chop those up. We go over your client's results, we chop those up, make sure that we can refine things. We go over everything. It's very, very personalized to you, not only you, but as well your clients to make sure that they're getting results. So again, all links will be below for that. I'll see you guys in the next one.